It's time to focus on seniors with Helping Seniors TV. The television show designed to make you aware of senior issues and needs, as well as to acquaint you with the resources available to help you age in place and with dignity. Now, here's your host, Joe Steckler.
I'm Joe Steckler, and welcome to Helping Seniors, the television arm of Helping Seniors of Brevard County. Our show is designed to provide you with information on how to develop your own aging and care plans. Our topic today is the Space Coast Center for Independent Living. Joining me today is Jill Dunham, who is the Executive Director of the Space Coast Center for Independent Living. Welcome, Jill.
God, thank you.
That's good. You know, we've known each other for a long time. And not too many people have I had on the TV show, folks, that Jill used to work for me many years ago when we started the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation. Jill was my financial person. She is now the executive director over here and doing a wonderful job with the Space Coast Center for Independent Living. And one of the purposes for doing this show today is to make our viewing audience more aware of what you do here at the Space Coast Center for Independent Living, because we have a lot of well-guarded secrets. And I think your organization is one of the most unrecognized organizations in Brevard County for what you do, and we're going to talk about that, the whole thing today. Good. So first, what is the Space Coast Center for Independent Living, Jill? What is it? What do you do?
We serve people with disabilities, all ages in Brevard County. We serve Indian River County as well. We have different services to help promote independence so that people with disabilities can live more independently in their home, in the community, workplace, that sort of thing. So we teach skills, we have support groups, activities for them to help, anything from balancing a checkbook to transporting them to a doctor's, or pretty much just support, social activities, that sort of thing.
We're going to talk about each and every one of those. You've given a good overview, but where do you teach all these classes?
Right here, right in this room.
In this room here we're in right now?
Yeah.
Do you teach these same classes down in Indian River County too?
No, we don't have an office down there. The population just isn't really, it's difficult down there because it's so rural, most of it. And of course funding to support having an office down there.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But when you say you serve them, how do you help the people in Indian River County? What do you do?
We do a lot of information and referral. Sometimes we transport down there. Support groups, if we have, we used to have support groups down there. Again, if the population is there and we have enough interested, we can hold support groups down at the libraries and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So,
but do you actually send your vans from here all the way down to Indian River County?
Yes, we do. Not very often, but we do.
But you can do that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we are going to talk about is the Space Coast Center for Independent Living van transportation system, because it's an extremely well-guarded secret.
We've
about that.
Pretty much all over the state at different points. We've gone to Gainesville to bring people to hospitals up there, or some trips to Orlando, of course, over to Tampa. They're rare, but we do it.
But you don't have an ambulance service, though.
No. These are scheduled appointments.
Okay.
Day trips, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what is? I know you say you help people. But when we started helping seniors of Brevard County, of course, you were one of the first persons that I talked to about what we were trying to do. And then it became apparent that there was a good fit for the two organizations, and so you invited Helping Seniors to be a tenant in your building. Have you found that since our information specialist has been here with the columns we had in our media program, has it helped increase your business also?
Of course, yes. Transportation, we've had a lot of referrals from Kay. FTRI, the phones, our amplified phones, we've had a lot of referrals for that. And it's also it's a good swap because when they come in, a consumer for a phone, my independent living specialist that sits at the front desk, she tells them not only about all of our services, but make sure they know that Kay is down at the other end of the hallway too. And there's probably 7 out of 10 times they end up down there with Kay. So
Well,
it's very good.
It's important because I think that the Brevard County, Florida is the 24th oldest county in terms of the number of people over the age of 65 in the entire United States. We have some wonderful programs here, but I am also aware that many of the services are not really that well known to the consumer. And you and I discussed that before I even founded the Helping Seniors. We knew there was a disconnect in many of the services. Some services say they're going to provide a service, but they don't do that. And I think that's one of the advantages that we have with your organization and Helping Seniors. We're going to start to find more people that need specialized services that simply just are not well informed.
No, we've actually, we were founded in 1972. We became a 501c3 in 1975. So we've been around a very, very long time. But like you said, I mean, there's not a lot of people that know about us, you know, and it's getting the word out. It's very difficult because many of the disabled individuals are low income, of course, you know, so they don't have access to, you know, the media, the social media that everybody else does. So it's very hard. We do a lot of grassroots advertising. I mean, we'll saturate the area with flyers, just, you know, handing them off at doctors' offices, senior centers, that sort of thing. A lot of it is word of mouth. So it's been very, that's probably the biggest challenge that we face, is trying to get the word out that we're here.
Oh, I think that's where the dovetailing of our organization comes in, and to really into prominence. Our radio show, this television show, our news Facebook page that our media director Carrie Fink has built into our system. We're revamping our website to make it more friendly. I'm just saying now because I know that Mr. Fink is listening to the two of us talk. And I'm going to say, folks, that probably in the very near future, when you go to our website and you want to know about helping disadvantaged or disabled people, you'll push a button and this show will come up. You had 4 key buzzwords that I picked off one of your information sheets, and that was information referral, independent living, advocacy, and peer support. How do you do all those things? Peer support.
Those are the 4 core services that every Center for Independent Living has to do. We actually have a 5th core service that's coming on board, which is nursing home transition and youth transition into post-secondary education. But the advocacy will, let's say a deaf person goes into a doctor's office and they need an interpreter. And by ADA regs, they have to supply them with an interpreter. They have to pay for it. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
American
ADA is what it is.
So if they don't, then, you know, they'll call us and we'll go help advocate for them to get them that interpreter so that they can have a conversation with.
Do you have an interpreter or do you have access?
We have referral. We have a referral list that's another one of our services. That's countywide. There's probably 25 interpreters on there. So that
When you say interpreters, are you talking about various languages?
No, just ASL, American Sign Language.
Oh, sign language? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you work a lot with deaf people?
We had a deaf and hard of hearing program that was very big a couple years ago. The woman that ran it ended up retiring, but we still provide deaf services. We have assisted listening devices that we give out, or we sell, I should say. I should have brought some of that equipment in here. Doorbells, baby alarms.
Wait. Are you saying that you can provide a person that's hearing impaired with a doorbell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know they're simple things. Yeah, a doorbell or a baby alarm. The big one that I think of you a lot is
You think of me a lot with my hearing. I know, go ahead. My wife tells me that too.
It's the...
she says, do you have your hearing aids in?
Exactly,
Yes, I am.
It's a pocket talker, and it's the little earphones that you have, and you can speak into it. We also have a system that folks use when they're giving a presentation, to the deaf, that they can talk into it. It's called a travel system or travel something, I don't know. But the panelist will talk into it, and then everybody else can hear in the room with their little earbuds.
And you provide those to people here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've sold some to a couple agencies, actually. Those.
Okay. Do you provide those, or are is some of the equipment sold, or?
It's sold, but example, the other day we had a woman come in, probably about my age, for a phone, and she couldn't afford the pocket talkers, are $125, and she couldn't afford that. So we did sell it to her for what she could pay for it,
How do you absorb that cost?
We do. It's...
See, Jill.
We're not here to make money.
No,
We just want
no,
to...
but
I know.
This is something viewers need to understand about nonprofit organizations. Building a nonprofit organization is not the easiest thing in the world. Most people think that you get a grant and the grant pays for it. That's not true.
Right.
Nonprofits have to figure out how they can develop a fundraising program. They do it through, we do it through sponsorships of our media program. People that will watch these TV shows that we produce. Many of them are produced through the payments of our sponsors to do these things. But almost all of our sponsors are organizations that work with seniors or disadvantaged or disabled people, and they have a vested interest in getting good information out. Before we're about halfway through our show, and I want to be sure that we talk about some specific things. And what I'd like for you to talk about is your hearing impaired phone system, and the type, maybe help people understand how they can go about getting that or being tested to see if they need it.
Either an audiologist. The program is run through Florida Telecommunications Relay Inc. On your phone bill every month, there's an 11-cent charge that goes towards to this foundation that supplies these phones. That's how they get their money. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's an 11-cent charge that helps pay for it, and you just have to be a Florida resident and certified by either an audiologist, or we do have a 10-minute, 5 or 10-minute hearing test.
Okay.
You can take here, and then I can certify that. Hearing aids is an automatic. If you have hearing aids, it's you're an automatic in Florida resident. That's it.
And when I came out, I obtained a hearing impaired phone through this organization, and there were either 3 or 4 type phones that were available to me, and your technician had me try all the phones to see which fit my hearing loss the best, because some phones can adjust frequencies where others can't fine-tune that frequency that well.
Mm-hmm.
So many people don't understand that hearing loss is not just the fact that you can't hear it.
Right.
There's a hearing problem, but there's also a word comprehension problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so important for the frequencies to be right so you can comprehend what it is that you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
For 25 years, I listened to one of our priests at church talk. I never understood a homily
Oh.
until last Sunday or a week ago. I realized they had a special system in the church that I plugged this little thing into my ear and it eliminated all the background noise. I understood every word
Wow.
of this homily,
Mm-hmm.
and it was probably one of the most important, significant homilies I've read or I've heard in my 80 years. It was a homily about love of God and love of neighbor, and the way the priest did it, it was such a touching homily. It made you sit up, and I was just glad that I could hear it.
Yeah.
But I would like for our viewers to have a better understanding of how they can help themselves. Another big, extremely important program we have here is your van transportation program. And you can go into that as much detail as you want, because you cannot say too much to our viewing audience so
It
they
is.
can understand us.
It's my favorite program because it's so many. Well, we all know the need for transportation in this county, anyways, and but when you're disabled and you can't drive, I can't imagine just being able to hop in my car and go anywhere I want. But then when you have things that, when you have to get to the doctor's office or even go grocery shopping. We have 6 vans that will do that. They're wheelchair accessible. All of them are. And we do anything from doctor's appointments, like I said, grocery shopping, if attorneys, pretty much the medical always takes precedence. If we have availability for anything else, we will do that for somebody. We transport vets to the VA 3-4 times a day. That trip anywhere, we transport them anywhere in the county is $10, flat rate, whether they're coming from Titusville or, Rockledge or Palm Bay to the VA, it's $10, flat fee. Any veteran doctors, how a lot of you got, or they're farming out now to the doctors,
Okay.
local doctors, those are $10 trips too. Anything that's like VA affiliated medical is $10 as well. They don't have to be going to the VA. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay. Other trips are, we charge 0 to 5 miles is $5, 6 to 10 is $10, and on so every $5 increment. We have a card that after you ride 6 times, then you get a free ride. For those that use us a lot, we have our flyers that I was telling you earlier. We saturate with the area. If they mention the ad, they'll get a free ride. We just did a referral system. If they get 3 people referred, they get a free ride. So we're really trying to,
How in the world do you fund all that?
We receive money from the Department of Transportation. They pay for 50% of it, and then vocational rehabilitation and the U.S. Department of Education pays the other half. Plus, we make it up a little bit with the little fees that we charge. So
That was the part I wanted. While people pay a little bit to help defray the cost, I'm sure that what they pay plus what you get from DOT and you get from the Disabilities Act people, you can use all you get to pay for what you
Oh
get.
yeah, the budget's tight. You know that. In a nonprofit, your budget's always tight. But again, we're here to serve people, not make a ton of money. Or we can't. Or that's not right, right? I mean, we're here to
understand.
help
I
people. We're not
understand.
here to make the dollar. I mean, as long as I can cover costs and, you know, again, like with the equipment that we were just talking about, you know, $75 isn't going to break us, but it's going to help somebody.
It's a lot of money to somebody
know.
that's cutting pills in half for
Exactly.
medication.
I mean, it's exactly.
Another service that one of your programs is your home modification program.
Mm-hmm.
How extensive is that, or how would it compare to what's offered through Aging Matters?
When we had funding, which was a couple years ago, and I'm seeking out other venues for that, but we would build ramps, of course install grab bars. One time we did a track system throughout the house for a person that it was a lift on a track that would take him from his bed to the bathroom to the kitchen. It was tremendous.
I mean, a hanging track?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Like-
is a little seat fit in that thing that would take him all around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It
Where
was
did you
cool.
buy something like that?
Well, we have contractors that do that for us. How the program, we administer it, okay? But we've got to do, you know, we're responsible for the permitting and all that, but we hire contractors to do the work for us, and they buy the equipment, they do the work, and we pay them.
If a person qualified for that program
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't afford it,
That's all free.
where does the funding come from?
That we received money from the cities for that. Melbourne, Titusville, Cocoa.
And they help people pay to put those kind of systems in their house?
Mm-hmm.
It would the same thing apply for a lift going upstairs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of the things that we did were ramps, bathroom modifications, like making showers so they're roll-in showers for people in
Yeah.
chairs, raised toilets, door widening. We did a lot of that. But we've done some of the more fair housing continuum down in Melbourne. For a while was matching us funds when we were doing it through the cities. They would match 50%. So that's where we were able to do the bigger jobs.
Jill, I've been doing this for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have known about Space Coast Center for Independent Living all that time. Today, I am finding out things that I had no knowledge that you all did.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm involved as much as I am with senior care and didn't know, think about those people there that are
I know.
watching this show today, how much they're learning.
Yeah, we have. I mean, and we're. I mean, we've been doing the same things for all these years, but some of our programs have gotten, you know, like transportation. When I first came on, I believe we only had 1 or 2 vans when I came on as the finance director. Now we have 6. You know, there are things that different programs have been building up. You know, at one time we had mental health counseling that we were offering. We had the deaf and hard of hearing program, our transportation, you know, but as long as I have the funding and can get the funding, you know, it goes directly into these programs and what I think the need is most. Home modifications is a big one. Transportation, the phones, you know, those help
How about
people.
the education programs? Do you furnish the people that come in and put the seminars on, things like that?
As far as which.
For all your education programs?
No, our staff does that.
The staff does that?
Yeah.
I noticed that one of the things you had listed was a notary service. Do you still do that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who does the notary? You?
No. The finance person. My finance person is a notary.
That guy you just hired is a notary? He looks
He's
more
a
like
gold mine, isn't he?
He looks more like a cage fighter. I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
You're just saying that because he's Air Force.
He can shoot me when he watches the show. But seriously, you have a world of very useful services that people need to know more about. If somebody wants to really find out about what you and I are talking about. I know they can call Kay at 473-7770 because that's our number. But how do they contact your side of the house?
Our main number for everything, transportation has their own line. It's 806-3199. And then our main number is 633-6011. They call the main line, we'll give them the number for the telephones. They have their own separate line as well, and transportation. So the 633-6011 is the one to call.
I know I've mentioned about it. I was looking into this. You mentioned the sign language. One of the things that was listed was the volunteer program. Do you still have a volunteer program?
Well, yeah, we do. Again, it's now that we've got the vans back, we can transport people in because, again, a lot of these people can't drive. So when I didn't have the vans, that program, and we're slowly building it back up. John, that does the phones, he's a volunteer. He puts in over 700 hours a year just volunteering.
The guy that fits the people for the guy that works
He's been
for me
here
is a
for
volunteer?
he's been here for 16 years, Joe. Yeah, he's awesome.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the nonprofit world, you know, too many people define nonprofit as it's all a gimme. It can't be. You have to. But I'm amazed that man has, and he's excellent.
Oh, I know he is.
He really knows the phone system.
He does.
You mentioned youth program. You have,
We do, yep. We
what
help
do you do with
youth transition, well, anything. I mean, we have autism support groups that we're starting up the first of the year. Like I said, we serve all ages of people with disabilities. A couple years ago, when we had our deaf and hard of hearing program, we had a summer camp that we had for 6 weeks for the youth that were deaf or hard of hearing. We took them to, different places, the zoo or, kind of social events, you know what I mean? And then, and they would come here like once a week. But we also help transition from high school to either employment or college, whatever route they want to take.
We're just out of time. Give us the phone number again real quick.
633-6011.
Remember that phone number, folks. Jill, we're out of time, and
Thank you.
I want to thank you for being here
No,
today,
thank
doing
you.
this show. And I want to thank you, viewer, for watching today's episode of Helping Seniors. If you have questions or comments, please call us at 321-473-7770. For more information on senior care and resources, visit our website at helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Be sure to listen to Helping Seniors on radio station AM 1300 WMEL every Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. and look for our Helping Seniors newsletter in our center section of Senior Scene magazine every month, and also Hometown News. I'm Joe Steckler, and thank you for joining us today for Helping Seniors.